Good evening. It's Thursday the 28th of August and here's what's making news around the world on World News Tonight. Diplomatic maneuver. Xi Jinping strengthens position by future meeting with Kim Jong-un and Vladimir Putin. Ukraine assault. Russian missile and drone strikes kill multiple civilians across Kyiv, damaging EU buildings. Heroic rescue. Newlyweds trapped in Arizona dust storm saved by quick-thinking coffee shop owner.
From Colombo, this is World News Tonight with Prithika Sivakumar.
Good evening once again. In a significant diplomatic development, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un is set to attend a military parade in Beijing on September 3rd, which commemorates the 80th anniversary of Japan's World War II surrender. He will be joined by Russian President Vladimir Putin and Chinese President Xi Jinping, marking a rare trilateral appearance.
The upcoming military parade in Beijing is poised to be a landmark event in international diplomacy. Scheduled for September 3rd, the parade will feature advanced military technology, including hypersonic weapons and precision strike systems, reflecting China's growing military capabilities. The presence of Kim Jong-un alongside Xi Jinping and Putin highlights a deepening strategic partnership amongst the three nations. Kim's attendance marks his first visit to China in over 6 years, signaling a thaw in relations between Pyongyang and Beijing. This development comes amid North Korea's increasing military cooperation with Russia, including support for Moscow's action in Ukraine. The parade offers Kim a platform to bolster his international standing and align more closely with China and Russia. The absence of Western leaders from the event underscores the growing divide between these nations and the West. While China continues to advocate for a peaceful resolution to the Ukraine conflict, its closer ties with Russia and North Korea suggest a shift towards a more assertive geopolitical stance. The parade serves as a demonstration of this evolving alignment and a challenge to Western influence in the region.
In a historic first, Russian and Chinese diesel-electric submarines have completed a joint patrol in the Asia-Pacific region. Initiated in early August following the Maritime Interaction 2025 naval exercises, the mission aimed to enhance naval cooperation and safeguard maritime economic interest amid rising regional tensions.
The Russian Defense Ministry said that for the first time, Russian and Chinese diesel-electric submarines successfully completed a joint patrol in the Asia-Pacific region. This mission was initiated in early August, immediately following the Maritime Interaction 2025 joint naval exercises conducted by Russia and China in the East Sea. The objective of the joint patrol is to strengthen naval cooperation between the two countries, enhance peace and stability in the Asia-Pacific region, and protect the maritime economic interests of both nations.
In a significant diplomatic move, Australia has expelled Iran's ambassador and 3 officials accusing Tehran of orchestrating anti-Semitic arson attacks in Sydney and Melbourne. The Iranian envoy has arrived at Sydney airport and is preparing to depart the country, marking the first such expulsion since World War II.
With enemies like these,
I love, Australian people.
perhaps it's our friends we should watch. The Iranian ambassador farewelling Australia, expelled for Tehran's involvement in at least 2 anti-Semitic arson attacks. Denial from Iran, confusion from our most important ally over the mammoth AUKUS pact. Having dashed to Washington, Deputy Prime Minister Richard Marles met Vice President J.D. Vance, Secretary of State Marco Rubio and his defence counterpart Pete Hegseth. The Defence Secretary's exchange with Marles was not a meeting but a happenstance encounter, an apparent slight leapt on by the federal opposition.
Was this a meeting with Secretary Hegseth or just a photo opportunity, and was there an outcome beyond the photo?
The Pentagon itself has made clear that there was a meeting between myself and Secretary Hegseth.
The Pentagon releasing another statement, confirming it was a meeting, after all, that was coordinated in advance.
Yesterday was chaos in D.C. I think the relationship's strong. I just think there was don't read too much into the chaos that is the Pentagon and Washington right now.
Although there's no doubt the US wants Australia to increase its defence spending beyond the current 2% of GDP.
Whether it's Europe, our allies paying 5%, now our allies in the Indo-Pacific stepping up to do the same.
A magnitude 6 earthquake struck off Taiwan's northeast coast near Yilan County yesterday evening, briefly shaking buildings in Taipei. The quake, at a depth of 112 kilometers, did not cause any damage or injuries, according to Taiwan's Central Weather Administration and Emergency Services.
A magnitude 6 earthquake occurred approximately 20 kilometers offshore from Taiwan yesterday. The quake's epicenter was located at a depth of 112 kilometers beneath the sea. The tremor was felt in various regions, including the capital city, Taipei. Despite the noticeable shaking, there have been no reports of structural damage or injuries. Taiwan's fire department confirmed that no emergency calls related to the earthquake were received. The earthquake's depth likely contributed to its limited impact on the surface. While the tremor was felt in several areas, including New Taipei, the absence of significant damage suggests that the quake's energy dissipated before reaching the surface. The Central Weather Administration's quick assessment and the fire department's confirmation have helped reassure the public. Taiwan is situated near the junction of two tectonic plates, making it prone to seismic activity. The island has experienced several significant earthquakes in recent decades, including a magnitude 7.4 quake in 2016 that resulted in over 100 fatalities and a magnitude 7.3 quake in 1999 that caused more than 2,000 deaths. The recent event serves as a reminder of the region's vulnerability to earthquakes.
Let's go in for a short commercial break. More world news coming right after this. Welcome back. A Russian missile and drone assault on Kyiv has resulted in at least 10 fatalities and 38 injuries, including a child. As reported by Ukrainian authorities, the strike, which spanned over 9 hours, targeted multiple districts, including the EU delegation building. President Zelensky condemned the attacks as a rejection of peace efforts.
The overnight attack on Kyiv marked a significant escalation in Russia's ongoing military campaign against Ukraine. Ukrainian air defense intercepted the majority of the incoming threats, yet several strikes succeeded in hitting residential areas and critical infrastructure, underscoring the challenges in safeguarding urban centers. Among the damaged sites was the European Union's delegation building, highlighting the broader geopolitical implications of the assault. EU officials have condemned the attack, emphasizing the need for Russia to cease indiscriminate targeting of civilian infrastructure and to engage in meaningful peace negotiations. This incident underscores the persistent threat to civilian populations in conflict zones and the urgent need for international efforts to protect non-combatants and uphold international humanitarian law. As the situation develops, continued monitoring and diplomatic engagement will be crucial in addressing the humanitarian crisis and seeking a path toward peace.
During a charged UN Security Council session, Algeria's ambassador Amar Benjama presented harrowing images of children and a slain journalist to accuse Israel of causing deaths in Gaza. Israel's envoy Danny Danon sharply rebutted, urging verification of facts amid growing humanitarian concerns in the region.
In a powerful address at the United Nations Security Council, Algeria's ambassador Amar Benjama displayed photographs of a 3-month-old infant and a 2-year-old child, both allegedly victims of malnutrition and conflict in Gaza. He also highlighted the death of the journalist, emphasizing the dire humanitarian crisis. Israel's ambassador Danny Danon countered these allegations, suggesting that the presented images may not accurately represent the situation and urging a thorough verification of facts. He emphasized Israel's commitment to targeting terrorists while avoiding harm to civilians. The United Nations has reported that nearly a quarter of Gaza's population is experiencing famine, with projections indicating a worsening crisis. The Integrated Food Security Phase classification has documented these findings, which Israel disputes, citing concerns over the reliability of the data.
In a strategic move to bolster national defense, Germany's cabinet has approved a draft bill introducing voluntary military service. This initiative aims to expand the Bundeswehr from 180,000 to 260,000 active duty soldiers by the early 2030s, which aligns with NATO's enhanced defense targets amid rising security concerns over Russia.
The bill aims to boost German firepower with 80,000 new soldiers and 150,000 new reservists through a new voluntary military service scheme.
We're now really approaching this task with the declared target of having 260,000 soldiers in Germany. And we want to achieve this target. My goal is that Germany, due to its size and economic strength, is the country that must have the strongest conventional army in NATO on the European side.
The bill would introduce opt-in military service for young Germans with improved pay and conditions to entice new recruits. And to prepare for war and the automatic re-implementation of conscription, the bill includes a national census of young people's readiness to serve. All young Germans would receive a questionnaire as of next January to assess their fitness, skills and willingness, compulsory for men but voluntary for women. And as of July 2027, 18-year-old men would undergo a mandatory physical exam, whether they opt for military service or not. The bill still needs to be voted in Parliament, but its announcement comes just months after Germany passed a whopping €500 billion spending bill to fund infrastructure and defence industry investments.
We not only need a well-equipped force, which we are working hard to achieve and have been doing so for 2.5 years without stopping, but we also need a Bundeswehr with sufficient personnel. Only then will deterrence as a whole be truly credible vis-à-vis Russia.
After Germany invaded much of Europe and committed a major genocide during World War II, the country was demilitarized. And when the West German Bundeswehr was established in 1955, Allies capped the size of the military and imposed strict rules on weaponry. Restrictions fell away with the reunification of Germany in 1990. But until now, given recent history, rearming has remained a taboo for German people and leaders.
The European Commission has granted marketing authorization for Gilead Sciences' twice-yearly HIV prevention injection, lenacapavir, known as Zayto in Europe. This approval marks a significant advancement in HIV pre-exposure prophylaxis, offering a long-acting alternative to daily oral medications for high-risk individuals across the EU.
It is a drug that could transform the fight against AIDS. With 99.9% efficacy, the long-acting treatment known as lenacapavir or Zayto requires just 2 injections a year, making it an attractive alternative to most antiretroviral drugs that require daily tablets. It has just been given the green light in the European Union in what its developer Gilead Sciences called a major milestone across the region and in their work to help end the epidemic. It has also generated enthusiasm with specialists.
With around 25,000 new HIV diagnoses in the EU and European Economic Area every year, it's clear that current prevention options are not working for everyone who needs or wants them, especially among vulnerable populations.
However, it will come with a cost. Prices have not yet been finalised, but they could reach more than $28,000 per year per patient. The drug has been on the market in the United States since June, where it has drawn criticism for its hefty price tag. Analysis from the University of Liverpool, reported here in The Guardian, found it could be made for only $25 a year, including a 30% profit margin. Gilead has signed agreements with several generic companies to manufacture and supply low-cost versions in 120 low-income countries, and has promised to provide doses for 2 million people in the meantime. But the World Health Organization says some 10 million people will need to take HIV prevention drugs to drastically reduce infections.
Time for a short break now. We'll be right back with more world news. Welcome back. In a heartwarming turn of events, newlyweds Becca and Jamie Ham found themselves caught in a massive dust storm while taking wedding photos in Chandler, Arizona. Photographer Madison Rowley and the couple sought shelter when Paul Rupas, a local coffee shop owner, offered refuge and an impromptu celebration.
A bride and groom say their I do's inside a courthouse.
I do. Got married, quick 5 minutes.
But when newlyweds Becca and Jamie Ham went outside to take their wedding photos, they found themselves smack in the path of that massive dust storm that struck the Phoenix area. Madison Ruley is their photographer.
And it's so thick that you can barely open your eyes and it's like getting in your mouth.
I'm just thinking, okay, like, there's a wedding party here. What can I do to try to make their day that much more special?
Paul Rupas invited them all inside his shop, Aristocrat Coffee Roasters, and threw an impromptu reception that included ice cream fed to each other, wedding cake style of course, and music played on an old school turntable. The newlyweds had their first dance while outside the massive storm was raging through the streets.
He made like lattes with heart shapes on them. It was just really, really sweet.
Despite a monster dust storm brewing outside, a joyous wedding took place thanks to a kind-hearted coffee shop owner.
In a heartwarming milestone, Frida Bimbam, who made headlines in 2007 as the oldest American woman to give birth to twins at age 60, now celebrates another significant moment. Her sons, Josh and Jared, are embarking on their college journeys. Josh at Stevens Institute of Technology and Jared at Northeastern University.
It's an off-to-college hug for a special mom and her twin boys.
Love you.
Mom gained notoriety back in 2007. The headlines called her Granny Mom. That's because at age 60, she gave birth to these guys.
You want a little milk?
And to this day, she remains America's oldest mother of twins. The twins are now 18, and do the math, Mom is 78.
I can't believe that the time went so quickly.
Looking back, Josh and Jared say it was really a normal upbringing.
They don't act older. Yeah, like they don't act their age. People assume that like since they're older, you just hear their age and you're like, oh, they must be like terrible parents or like super offhand, like not involved at all, but they're really like very involved parents.
Mom and her husband Ken, who's 81, helped move Josh into his dorm at Stevens Institute of Technology in Hoboken, New Jersey. Jarrett is headed off to Northeastern University in Boston. Settled in their dorms, it was time for America's oldest mom of twins to say goodbye.
And with that, we come to the end of today's edition of World News Tonight. With the hopes of seeing you again, I'm Prithika Sivakumar, and we'll leave you tonight with the visuals of a Saudi family home turning into a bustling tourist hub. Also, don't forget to send us your feedback through email at feedback.ad24english@derana.lk or via WhatsApp at 076-805-7933. Anuradhi Vikramasinghe will be joining you next with the Nightly Business Report. Thank you for watching. Have a great night.